Well, my winch cable snapped again. It's the second time that's happened this winter. You would think it's just a simple up and down. I don't understand. So we've had like a crazy amount of snowstorms this winter. Like we're at like what our normal snowfall total is, and it's only the end of January right now. And I've been working this thing like crazy, but still, all this goes up and down, and it already broke again. Last time, all I did was like tie a knot in it. This time, I think I'm gonna try to fix it more properly, like with a cable clamp or something. So let's get to doing that. So let's see if we can pull it out. I'm hoping it's not all wound up in here. The problem is when it gets loose, sometimes it can wind up the other way. So it kind of feels like it's doing. So that's out and that's in, and both of them go in. That means there's like it's caught underneath the cable. I'm gonna see if I can just free spool it out. Which was my biggest fear when it broke, was that somehow it would end up stuck under there. I can see how it's stuck, but if you ever put the plow up too high and then you keep pushing the winch in, then it sucks everything tighter than what I can manually yank it out. A couple videos ago, my winch got stuck. It wasn't working. It ended up being a bad connection to the battery. When I was going to hook this up to my truck, I was able to just pull it out and it broke free, but it doesn't seem like it wants to break free this time. There's also more I could grab onto. Yeah, so if I put it in winch mode again, either way, it just goes in. This is out, and it's pulling it back in. Maybe if I hook it around something. Might have worked, actually. Oh yeah, now we're in business. It's got a pretty bad kink in it right there where it was bound up. There's all kinds of cable on the spool still, so it could break like 100 times and you could just keep repairing it. Ultimately, I'd really like to switch to a rope. I've been looking them up, and there's a pretty decent one that Harbor Freight carries, and they usually have them in stock at some of their stores around town. Harbor Freight's nice. Sometimes they have really good warranty, so there's some of their things that are actually pretty decent. There's some stuff they have that you want to stay away from, but there are some things that are pretty nice, and they have such a good warranty that it makes it worth it. Like I said, for now, I think I'm just gonna repair it. So I'll have to run to the hardware store and get a cable clamp. We should be able to just loop it back through there and clamp it. Also, my wife's car has been leaking oil. Well, it hasn't been, but all of a sudden it did. And when she was at the oil change place a while back, the guy had said something about some pan underneath. There was like a seal that maybe was going bad, and he was saying you could get like an aftermarket one that's made out of aluminum. I'm not really sure, but yesterday she pulled out and noticed there was a big brown spot of, we don't know if it's oil or what, but most likely oil because it was brown under the car. So I got to deal with that too, because her car might have to go in and get fixed. So one thing at a time. All right, guys, we might have actually just completely lucked out. I have some cable clamps here in my great organization, which I did in a previous video. Now that everything's labeled, I can look and see that there's a cable clamp, but it's definitely too big, technically. It's supposed to be 1/4 inch cable. The fact that that thing breaks all the time, and there's enough thread on here to tighten this cable clamp that I think I can get it tight enough to use it. So we're gonna try that. Basically, you feed the cable through here, around this loop, which will go through that pin and that hook on that other thing, and then back through here. And then if you tighten this down, hopefully it clamps it enough that it's clamped. So we're gonna try what we got rather than run to the store, and we'll see if we get lucky. Okay, so as I was saying, I'm loosen this up. I really should cut this back a little bit because the end is just so frayed. I gotta take this cotter pin out as well, and then I can take this pin out, get this cable off, we can start fresh. I'm not entirely sure how hard this is to cut. Let's see. Okay. All right, let's get this cotter pin out. Just wants to twist around on me. Once you get him close, you can just all right, get that pin out, get that junk out of the way. So this is like some kind of a clamp, or like a crimp, I guess would be the better word for it. That's a mess because I tied a knot around it and stuff. If you guys have ever worked with this cable, braided cable like this, it is very, like when it frays and stuff, it's super pokey. And it's already made me bleed a couple times just because there's like little frays coming out and you don't really notice them. And then you go to grab it and it just, there's so little, they just stab right into you. Okay, so now that we got this cotter pin out, what I was talking about was this thing. My hope would be that this fits in here. Like that. And the cable wraps around here. That should be better anyway to have that rub it on there rather than the cable itself. I'm not sure where exactly it's breaking. I think it's just breaking maybe when it sits, when the cable's just sitting in the winch when it's not in use. I try to give it some slack, but I don't know. I was gonna say maybe it gets kinked or something. Okay, so that's gonna work. The biggest wild card is whether the two cables together in here, like if this can get tight enough, because this is obviously made for a bigger cable. The other thing I wanna do is cut this cable. I do have a little bit bigger cutter, so let's see. Oh yeah. All right, so I'm gonna put it through here once, and then it will basically go around this. And then back through the clamp. I'm not sure if this, you just pull it so tight that it stays around this, or if you push it up so tight here. I guess something like that will work. Okay, I'm gonna try to tighten this down and see if it'll, it's just hand tight right now, but see if we can clamp it tight enough to make it work without having to go to the hardware store. The hardware store is only 5 minutes away, so if I gotta run and grab a little smaller version of this, I can. All right, we're getting close to running out of hand tight. I'm gonna have to get a wrench. It's still pretty loose in there, so we might be going to the store. Let's see. See if we got any more threads on here. See, it just poked me again, that fast. Again, this is pretty loose for this size cable, but once this pin goes through it can't go anywhere. It should do its job. It's hard to know if I'm running out of threads or if it's just getting tight. Maybe both. It keeps poking me every way, which way I hold it. Okay. All right, that's as tight as I can get it. It seems like it's compressing the cable, which I feel like is a good sign. But again, like, I can just use it, and if it doesn't work, I can always run and just grab a smaller one, or I can re-tighten it on. Because you have all that friction anyway. Just having it come back, looping on itself, gives it a lot of friction for pulling the plow up. It's not like it's that heavy. All right, so now what we want to do is put this in here, and then I'm going to put that pin. That fits really nicely in there. The cotter pin back in, re-bend it. All right, there we go. Moment of truth. Let's see if it'll lift the plow without coming undone. All right. Yeah, see there is a kink right here. I think it's from when it was in the spool, but I don't know if when it gets some kinks like that, if it becomes a weak point and then that's where it snaps. It just seems crazy to me that it's not doing that much work. Okay, I'm gonna give it some tension as I winch it up. Okay, so I'm already noticing, I'm gonna try to tighten that a little more because I am noticing it move. As I pull the winch in more, it moves. Watch this. So we're not quite tight enough, which could end up being that I need to run and get a smaller one. But now that it's on there and holding itself tight, but now that it's on there like that, I'm gonna try to wrench it rather than just me holding on to it. Felt like I was running out of threads, so starting to lose hope. I don't want to have to deal with this a bunch of times while I'm trying to plow, so I do want to make sure that it's the right size. All right, let's try it again. Yeah, that still comes loose. All right, well, we tried to use what we had. It's always kind of exciting when you already have something that you need, and that's kind of why I'm doing this organization, because I don't even know what I have unless it's organized. So I had the cable clamps. I'm gonna grab one of these and bring it with me so I know to get, honestly, like this is 1/4 inch. I don't know if 1/8 is next or what the next size down, but I think one size down would be good. This was really close to getting tight enough on its own, but you can see on here, they run out of threads. I'm gonna run to the store and get the right size. All right, let's go see if they got the clamp that we need. All right, I got what I needed. It was in a weird spot up on the shelf, like hidden behind stuff, but we got it. It said aisle 18, and I was looking, and there was only, first aisle was 1 and the last one was 14. So I was like, okay, you know, sometimes it could be the end wall. There was no other like labels or other numbers, but there was like this back little corner next to like where you get like belts for like a mower or whatever. And I saw some chain and some hooks. So I was like, okay, that kind of makes sense. But like I said, it was literally like tucked up behind. I only saw the really little ones. So I was like, oh, those are gonna be too little. But then I found them. So I just got 2 for now. It didn't come in a pack of 4 or whatever like I thought it was going to. I'm just gonna put 1 on and see if I can get it tight enough to where I can trust it. Otherwise, I'll just put them both on and clamp them down tight, and then I hopefully shouldn't have to worry about it. But I would like to have 1 as a backup. So all right, let's go get that fixed and move on to my wife's car. All right, we made it. Let's get this thing fixed once and for all. Well, until it breaks again. All right, I'll just show you the size comparison. This is the one that I had here that was a little too big. This is the one I got, so should be able to get it nice and tight. I gotta get some slack in it. Okay, we'll just do everything in reverse that we did earlier. I suppose I could have got a smaller one of these, but that's all right. I think that'll work just fine. All right, it's as tight as I can get it. Let's give her the test. All right. So what was happening last time, when I would keep going, it would slip out of here. Not doing that anymore. All right, I'd call that a success. The battery is starting to die, so I need to stop. So again, obviously I have something with that cable. It must just get brittle, or I don't know, it just doesn't like to be used a lot. So it may break again, but I have that clamp now I can use again, or I have another one. And honestly, that wasn't that big a deal. It's just in the past, when it broke the first time, I didn't have the clamp. I was assuming that those big clamps didn't work, so I never actually tried it. And then I just tied a knot in it and it worked, and then I just went with it. So now we're fixed properly, and let's go figure out what's going on with my wife's car. Like I said, it was leaking some oil or something, she said. So we need to check on that. All right, so here's my wife's van. When she left last night and came back, she noticed that there was a brown spot on the ground. And a few weeks, or I guess maybe a few months now, back when she was at an oil change place, they told her there was something to do with the oil pan or something underneath. I don't know, I'm getting secondhand information, but they said it's made out of plastic. And he said once that fills up with oil and then starts spilling over, you'll know you have a really bad leak. So at that point, don't drive it and get it in as fast as you can, or something like that. And he said there's an aftermarket part that's made out of aluminum. So I'm not really sure. Her car is under warranty, so if there is something wrong with it, it's not going to be something that I fix. But I'm going to move it back here, and we'll see what's going on underneath. And then we'll check the oil. Oh, wow. Yeah, you can see all that brown. It's not all in one spot, which is interesting. There's like a big pool right there, but then it's kind of splattered over there. And she pretty much parks in the same spot every time. I don't know, let's pop the hood and see what's going on. See if we can see what's going on. Or at least check the oil. I do see some wet oil up here, but not a lot, not that much. All right, I'm gonna shut it off and check the oil. Definitely seems to be really low. Yeah, that's really low. It's barely on the dipstick. So she's definitely losing oil. Well, that sounds to me like another trip to the store. We gotta go get some oil and fill this up so she can at least drive it to the mechanic, which is only like 5 minutes away too. But like I said, it's under warranty, so it's not something that I'm gonna fix myself this time. Definitely not good though. It's losing a good amount. All right, we are driving back to another store to get some oil for my wife's car. I think I'm just gonna go to the gas station because they usually carry oil, and they're a little closer than the auto parts store. I just need to top it off so that she's good to go and drive it to the mechanic, which is, like I said, only 5 minutes away. So let's go do that. All right, well, that was kind of surprising. I went to the closest gas station to my house and they had it. I was not expecting them to have the type of oil that her car needs. I was kind of thinking it was going to be a lost cause and had to go all the way to the auto parts store, but I just got 2 quarts. I think her car takes 5 total. It is on the dipstick, but it's below the low line, so it definitely needs a fair amount. But I'm just going to put a couple quarts in and we'll get it to the mechanic hopefully tomorrow. It's Sunday right now, so she'll call him tomorrow and get it scheduled, and then the only time it'll drive is to drive straight there. And I'm gonna update you guys later on, hopefully before this video is posted, on what we ended up finding out about it. All right, I just stopped down here quick at my barn to get a funnel for that oil. All right, let's put in 1 quart and see what we think. It's actually quite a wide mouth on the oil cap. I probably didn't even need a funnel, but I know this was dry, so let's just see. Oh yeah, that's going up. Definitely need the second one. It's on there, it's just hard to tell where the line is. Oh yeah, that's good now. It's right between the lines. Alright guys, if I have an update for you before I end up posting the video, I will show you that. But otherwise, I really appreciate you guys watching. I hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you in the next one.